and the bottom chambers are called the ventricles. So when your heart normally beats, what happens is that your top two chambers squeeze, and then the signals pass through a little piece of tissue in the middle between called the AV node, and it tells the bottom two chambers to squeeze. And this happens in a very sort of synchronous type of manner. So you have the top two chambers squeeze and the bottom two chambers squeeze, and it happens in a very sort of rhythmic type of manner. When you have atrial fibrillation, what happens is that instead of your heartbeat sort of being controlled by mostly by electrical signals coming at the top of the heart here, you've got abnormal electrical signals firing from both sides of the top two chambers. So what happens is that you kind of have an erratic electrical activity that's happening in the top two chambers, and those signals are all trying to get down to the bottom chambers, but they might get there quite irregularly. So what happens is that quite often you feel like your heart is beating irregularly. It can be fast, and it can also feel like it's skipping beats all the time. So what happens is that all that electrical activity in the top, not all of it gets to the bottom, but what you feel as your pulse, that's the bottom chambers pumping. Okay? So often in atrial fibrillation, it could feel fast, it could feel irregular, it could feel like you're skipping beats. For some people, you might not feel anything at all. So, yeah.
So is it always the top two chambers that have that extra beat, and nothing from the bottom two? They don't do
Usually
anything?
originates in the top.
Originates.
Yeah, originates in the top,
Okay.
that abnormal
The book can't explain it
electrical
like she
activity,
does.
and then it causes the bottom to beat irregularly as well.
Thank you.
Can you be an